As we approach our final game of the season, I am interested to know what your summer would look like if you were manager of Chelsea. I've already confirmed the permanent signing of Kovacic for about £60 million, which is a good piece of business that I didn't expect to be able to pull off. So we've got about £60 million to spend. Let me know who you would sell, who you would buy. Let me know down in the comments, and we'll see what I can come up with. See how it compares to what I end up doing. But before all of that, we have the small matter of a Europa League final. Hello and welcome to part 11 of my Football Manager 2019 beta save with Chelsea. I'm Kev, that's what I say there. Coming up on today's episode, we have the Europa League final against Spartak Moscow. It is the biggest club competition in Europe, as far as I'm aware. If there's a bigger one, I know nothing about it. We need to win it. Obviously, we need to win it. The big piece of transfer business is what we were talking about in the little intro there. £63 million for Kovacic. I know it's a lot of money, but he has been an incredible player for us. 25-year-old, world-class midfielder, 4-star current ability. He is the best midfielder at the club, according to my assistant manager. He's averaged a 7.31. He's just been brilliant. So I think that's money well spent, especially when we had plenty of money to spend. So we still have a whole bunch of wage budget. If we actually adjust that wage budget to transfer budget, we've potentially still got £80 million of transfer budget to play with. We can bring in at least one or two more properly world-class players. And I think there's going to be an awful lot of players moving out of the club. All the loans are going to be back. I'm going to properly assess the squad. Expect a summer of transfers ahead. But before any of that, let's try and win this competition. We want to win the Europa League, and this is the team we're putting out there to do it. We're using our control possession 4-3-3 variant, mainly because it allows us to be more flexible as the game goes on. If we go 2-0 up fairly early, we can switch to the counter-attacking version and not have to change any of the players. We don't have that flexibility with the 4-2-3-1. Plus, Ross Barkley picked up a little bit of a knock. He is fit again now, but he wasn't necessarily in my plans, and we've been training this for 2 weeks. I assumed Barkley wouldn't be available, but he's actually made a very quick recovery. So we're going with Kepa in goal, a back four of Emerson, Rudiger, Delight and Azpilicueta, with Jorginho in behind, Kante and Kovacic as our midfield three. Morata leads the line as ever with Hazard and Willian either side of him. I actually think that is my first choice 11. They are my best players. My word, it's all come together at the last minute. I'm able to play my first choice team all at the same time for the first time probably since before Christmas. Right, we want to passionately go win a trophy because we do deserve to win it. We're obviously not going to be playing in the Europa League next year. We've already qualified for the Champions League as champions of England. It would be nice to double qualify by winning the Europa League as well. Presumably, if we win this as well, it means we can stick our under-23s in the Champions League as well. Wouldn't it be awesome if that was what it meant? What does it actually mean? Does Spartak Moscow now get in by default, even if they lose this? Or is there an extra place that goes to England? Or do they just give an extra team in the qualifiers some qualification to the Champions League next season? I don't actually know how it works. Let me know down in the comments, in amongst all the transfer speculation, how Champions League qualification from the Europa League works for teams that have already qualified. And there is Kovacic justifying his £60 million we've just spent on him. He's still officially here on loan for another couple of weeks, but he is a Chelsea player now, and there is his goal in the Europa League final. It's a lovely little header, so not necessarily the typical goal you'd expect from him. That's not what we're signing him to do, but if he weighs in with that every now and again, I'm certainly not going to complain about it. And we're 1-0 up, and we are now thinking in terms of, right, at which point do we drop back to counter-attacking and just try and close off this game, which we are quite capable of doing. Morata now running down the right hand side, Williams chasing behind him, needs to get in the middle really. In fact, he doesn't, because there was a queue in the middle and Hazard gets there last, but scores the goal. 2-0 up on the half-hour mark, and we're in danger of making Spartak Moscow look a little bit silly here. We should be a much better team than them, and we're showing that we kind of are. Hazard with a lovely finish. I kind of wanted Kante to push forward and tuck it away and add to his ever-growing tally of goals that he scored this season, but I can handle having Hazard score in the Europa League final. Hopefully the last Europa League game these players ever play in. Hazard now shooting from range, and it goes well wide. He got a little bit of a clap from the players in front of him though, which I think was more of a generous, you did all right, nice try Eden, just don't do it again, play me a through ball next time. Willian's not having the best of games, So we'll monitor that as we go into this second half. But really, we just need to do the same again. We've played very well. We'll give it 15 minutes and we'll switch to the counter-attacking system if we're still only 2-0 up. If we grab a third goal, we'll probably just keep controlling possession. Although, actually, we're on a control possession system. We're not actually controlling possession at all. Willian shoots from well out and it cut back a long way, but not quite far enough to end up in that top corner. But it's us with the attack again. Although, actually, we're giving the ball away in midfield, but Jorginho wins it back. My ball-winning midfielder, Jorginho, and Kepa on the volley just knocks it back to Rudiger because he doesn't need to take a touch because that's how good we are. Morata loses out. In fact, keeps hold of the ball, finds Hazard. Kante now plays it into Kovacic. Back to Kante. Hazard, I don't know how that ball made it through to Hazard, but it falls to Willian. We are 3-0 up. Forget any plans to go counter-attack him. We're just gonna see how many goals we can score at this point. Let's set a record. What's the record high score in the Europa League final? Something else for you to look up and let me know down in the comments because I have no idea, but I want to set the record. Not record high scoring Europa League game, the record high score in the Europa League final. That's what we're looking to set now. Has that goal been disallowed? No, it hasn't because he was onside, obviously. Excellent. Right, let's push on. We want number 4. Will I really confuse him if I do a shout saying, get further forward? We just want goals now. Rudiger, heads clear. We can't get too silly, I guess, because Spartak Moscow are obviously a decent team. And there you go. They have grabbed a goal back. They're a decent enough team to have made it through to the final. So perhaps we will switch to the counter-attacking system after all. Because yeah, I don't want to throw it away after all the confident talk, and now Hazard's injured. Okay, suddenly things have got serious, boys and girls. We've got Pedro on the bench, and we're going to switch to our more defensive variant because I hope that's not a proper injury to Hazard because that will scupper all plans for the summer if we have to sign a replacement for him. We have been looking at, oh my word, they've got right. Edit out all that stuff I said about record high score. I'm going to look like such an idiot if we give the game away now. It's 3-2. Spartak Moscow are making a comeback. That's gone down as an own goal from Kante as well, which seems a little bit harsh because I don't think it hit him. I think it hit that guy. But it's an own goal from Kante apparently. And now we just need to not do anything stupid. What's up with Hazard? Hazard has got a potential knee injury. Emerson's been booked. We might, rather than telling him to ease off tackles, we might just bring Marcus Alonso on at left back. Just because we don't want to risk a sending off there. Who have we got? We've got Ross Barkley who can come on in the midfield. Kante's not having the best of games. So I think we're just going to make that change. Get Barkley on in the midfield. Just to run around a lot. Use his energy in there. We've used up all our substitutions now, which is a bit of a risky strategy. But there is Ross Barkley. And there we go. That should be that. What a goal from Ross Barkley. And a cartwheel as well. That wasn't what I was bringing him on to do. But he's been doing stuff like that all season long. It's his 14th goal of the season. We get an assist from Marcus Alonso as well from taking a throw-in and giving it to Barkley. But what a goal from Ross Barkley. He's just signed a new contract as a key player. And he absolutely is. He is an absolute superstar for this Chelsea team, and what a goal that was. Right, that should have killed Spartak Moscow off now. It would be lovely to grab a 5th, but really, let's just sit back and not do anything dumb. That was our plan once before and we messed it up. Azpilicueta down the right-hand side, tucks it back to Kovacic, who's got loads of space and makes it 5. Now it's gone down as a Morata goal. How has Morata stolen a goal there? And why is it saying it's only his 7th goal of the season? I'm fairly confident Morata's well into double figures. That seems like a bit of a glitch. Unless it means it's his 7th goal in this competition. Because we'll have a look at Morata after that. Oh, it's kind of hit him on the way through. We're going to check Morata in a second, but I'm sure he's well past double figures. He's in the 20s. I'm sure he is. In fact, let's look now. Morata has, it's his 24th goal of the season. 7th goal, my eye. It must have been in this tournament only. But it is 5-2 now. We're past the 90th minute. Can we grab number 6? Perhaps we can start thinking in terms of record wins in the final again. Barkley, back to Jorginho, to Kovacic. Kovacic misses out, and there's going to be one last counter-attack here from Spartak. It's not going to be enough. Even if they score, they're not getting back into the game now. And Azpilicueta is ruthlessly running at them as part of our own counter-attack. Jorginho plays it forward to Pedro, to Morata. Willian's ahead of him. Kovacic, though, in support, tries to find Willian, but Willian wasn't even looking. And now Spartak get another counter attack, but Jorginho across with another good tackle. I like him as a half-back. I know you lot have been telling me off all season for playing him as a half-back, but he's good there. And I want Kovacic to be my playmaker. I don't want two playmakers. Miles told me in my tactics video I did with Miles, I was specifically told not to have two playmakers in my team. So I don't want both Kovacic and Jorginho trying to be playmakers. So I think it's a decent compromise, and I think I'm justified in the decision. We've won the league, we've won the Europa League, we've won all the important competitions we entered. I think that justifies the decision, surely. Maybe I'm not getting the best out of Jorginho, but I'm getting the best out of my team, and that's the important thing. Pedro now, and it's a full-time whistle ever going to blow in this game. Kovacic in midfield again, plays it out to Willian. Can he just whip across in to try and grab number 6? He doesn't. He misses out on the ball. To give Spartak Moscow credit, they are still trying and working hard, even though the game's been over for 10 minutes. But there you go. We have a Europa League victory to add to our ever-growing trophy collection here at Chelsea. And I tell you what, for those of you watching the Bayern Munich save as well, this has been a fairly successful start to FM19. I'm not going to say the game is easier this year, but I'm doing all right so far. Congratulations on winning the trophy, gentlemen. We are just going to check in on Eden Hazard just to make sure he's not broken his leg or anything silly like that. Damaged kneecap. He'll be back for pre-season. That is fine. Of course, we won the treble because we won the Community Shield as well. Huzzah! That has been a successful season. Now we move on to do some transfers. We will be back tomorrow with another season of Chelsea. We are going to be starting non-league to legend soon, so that will be starting as soon as the full game is out. Might not necessarily start the same day, but very soon after the full game is out, non-league to legend will get up and running with St Albans. But in the meantime, we're definitely going to do a second season with Chelsea because we want to try and win that Champions League. And yeah, we'll see where we go from there. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.